This is a demo of the NCube electronic inventory management software, specifically geared towards cell phones and tablets. The software will cater to all of the different tasks that are involved in purchasing lots of cell phones and tablets, processing them, putting them up for sale, selling them in bulk, and so forth. The software will directly integrate with eBay so that it can dynamically adjust the quantities and import the sales data as inventory sold on eBay. It will directly integrate with ShipStation so that you can print shipping labels for the items sold on eBay or other platforms. In addition, it will also give you the ability to manually come in and enter sales data or adjust quantities for items that you sell as a bulk, in bulk, as a lot, like on Bstock or any other platforms, or even on the phone, for instance. It will have reports which will contain your sales data. It will keep track of accessories for cell phones, such as chargers, boxes, earphones, and so forth, and also give you the ability to associate accessories with a cell phone, so that you can keep track of when a cell phone sells, it'll automatically adjust, decrease the quantity of the charger that's going out with that cell phone. And so this way you can keep track of not only your phones but also your accessories. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and I'll give you a walkthrough of the different screens that this website is made up of. Now, one thing I want to add is I will not be going over every single screen that the website will contain, just the major ones that have the main features and functionalities. Those are the ones I'm going to be covering. And the objective here is to basically give you a good idea into what the website will look like and what it will feel like and what the overall flow of the website is going to be like. Another thing I want to mention is that this website isn't built yet. What you're looking at here and the different screens that you'll see, that's just a mock-up. That's just what the website will look like once it's built. So what you're looking at here is just basically, it's just a mock-up of the website. So I guess the best way to explain it would be, think of it as a house made out of cardboards, just so you can get a feel for what the rooms are going to look like, where they're going to be located, and so forth. That's kind of the idea here. Okay, so with that, let's get started. This is going to be our main screen, the manifest screen. A manifest is basically when you purchase a lot, the items that you bought, that's a manifest. Manifest is the collection of items that you bought. So whenever you buy a new lot, the first thing you're going to do is come into this website and click the new manifest button. You're going to give it a name. So for instance, let's say we bought a lot of iPhones, so 6 and 6 Plus, let's say. So iPhone 6/6 Plus. This is who we bought it from. This would be a drop down, so you can just select your supplier, but for now I've just kept it as a text box. Oh, I don't know, I'm just going to call it supplier 1. And if you have an order number, then you could enter that, 1203. And then you would click your save button. Okay, so once you save a manifest, then you'll come to the next screen. It'll basically take you to the next screen, which is the manifest screen. Like, this is where you would enter the items that you purchased for this manifest. A manifest goes through different stages. The first stage is adding items. This is when you're adding the items to the manifest. At this point, you're not going to QC them. This is just building up your collection, building up your manifest. So you would come in here into this text box, and you would basically scan the IMEI, or if there is no way to scan it, because let's say there is no barcode for on the phone, like for iPhone, there is no barcode. So then you would just enter the IMEI number for that cell phone and press enter. And once you do that, it will basically connect to an external service, and from that IMEI number, it will retrieve the data. It will retrieve the phone numbers. It will retrieve the phone information for that IMEI. So it will already know that what kind of phone it is. It will know what model it is. It will even know if it's locked or not. It will know how much memory it has, and so forth. And it will print a label a barcode label so that you can stick that on the phone. So next time you can just scan it because now it has a barcode on it. And then below the barcode will be the information of that phone, like iPhone 6 Plus, 128 gigabytes memory, and so forth. So as you start scanning the items, it will basically start building your list, and that's it's going to look something like this. Once you start scanning, this is what it's. Okay, so here basically I've scanned in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different items, and as you start scanning them, basically this table will start getting populated with the items you've scanned. As you can see, when I scanned the IMEI numbers, it retrieved the phone number, it retrieved the brand, the model, the memory, the color, the lock status for the phone, and the processing status for each of them is set to received. So each item goes through different processing statuses. That's something that you would basically manage internally. So an item will basically go from the receive status to QC to, after it comes from QC, you can basically give it different statuses, like if it's a new phone, if it's like new, if it's refurb A, refurb B, if it's parts only, if it needs repairs, and so forth. So that we'll look at in the next step. In this step, you're simply adding up your phones into your manifest. If, for instance, the label that automatically prints when you scan an item, you lost it or it didn't print correctly, you can always print additional labels by clicking the print label button. If some of this information is for some reason incorrect, maybe I don't know, like for some odd reason if it's not correct, then you can always click the edit button and change that information. Once you've scanned in all your items, then you want to hit finish adding items. This will take you to the next step, which is the QC step. Okay, so now we're in the QC step, quality control. So you've built your manifest, you've added all the items to it, and then at this point the QC team will come in, they will log in, and they'll basically go through and start QCing items. So same concept. When you're on the QC step, you scan the item. As soon as you scan the item, it will pull up that item, and you'll basically see this. Okay, so as soon as you scan an item, you basically see this screen here. It pulls up the item, gives you the option to put an additional label if you needed to, shows the phone's IMEI, the phone itself, phone info, and then here you select a condition. So based, when you QC an item, you get to select a condition. Is it new? Is it like new? Is it refurb A, B, C? Is it parts only, or does it need repair? So in this case, let's say we go with refurb A. Now, as soon as you select refurb, so as soon as you select an item condition, the rest of these fields here will populate. They will be displayed and they'll populate if there's values. So basically, what's going on here is, let's say you've already, in the past, you've already processed an iPhone 6s that's 32 gigabytes that's condition refurb A. So you already have that phone in your inventory. Well, some of the information will carry forward to the new item that you just bought. For instance, the remarks are probably going to be the same. So there is no need for you to retype that. It'll just pull that information from the previous item that you had processed in the past. eBay item ID is going to be the same because you want this new phone listed against the same eBay listing. So if you're already selling this phone on eBay, it'll just populate that item ID. If you're not selling the phone on eBay, for instance, then the item ID is going to be empty, and it's up to you to come in and put that item ID in here so that it links it to the eBay listing that you have. Accessories, same thing. If you are selling refurb A 32 gigabytes with these accessories, these will auto-populate. If you're not selling them with these accessories, they won't. And then you can always add and then add new accessories that you want to go along with this phone. So it's basically you don't have to keep repeating the same thing again and again. Once you've saved the fact that you're selling an iPhone 6s refurb A with these remarks against this listing with these accessories, it'll remember that the next time you have a new manifest come in, and it'll just pull that information in there. Make sense? Okay, so once you're done with this, so once you've scanned all your, in the QC, you've scanned all your items, then you want to click finish with QC. So at this point, let's say that your manifest had 20 phones, and you go through and QC them. You maybe 5 are basically like new, 7 are refurb A, 3 are refurb B, some need repair. So you've now classified your manifest into different conditions for each of the different items. Oh, by the way, for large lots, you probably won't get QC in one sitting. So every manifest will show this little badge up here that'll tell you how many you've processed so far and how many still have to go. So it'll say in QC, 10 of 25 processed. Just an example. So you know how long you have to go. How many you've done so far. Okay. Once you click finish with QC, then you've basically you've QC'd your manifest, and now you're basically at a finishing step. So once you click on this step, it'll come back to the main screen. Okay, so once you're done with QC, it'll basically bring you back to the main page, which is a manifests page, which will display all the different manifests that you've created. So here is just an example, basically. Here's my iPhone 6 Plus. The status is received. So I just received this manifest. I haven't done anything with it. It's got 20 items inside it. The total cost is this much. The retail value is this much. Here's my next manifest, LG. It's in QC right now. It's got 30 items in it, and it's going through QC. Here's my Samsung S6 manifest. It's in active status. So once you're done with QC, the manifest becomes active. The status of the manifest changes from in QC to active, because now it's basically actively selling. So in here, in my S6, I had 23. I bought 25 items, I'm sorry, and 23 of them are sellable. So 2 were like basically salvage that I couldn't sell. I've sold 10 so far. Here's my total cost. Here's the retail value. Here's the amount that I've sold so far. And finally, once you're finished selling all of the items inside a manifest, it goes into archive status. So just keeping it around for historical purposes, of course. So here's my iPad Air 2 manifest that is in archive status because it had 25 items. I'm sorry, 20 of them were sellable, and I sold all of them. So now it's archived. So that's that's pretty much basically this is the all tab that displays all your manifests, and that's what this tab is. You can also just look at your received manifests that are in receive status that have come in and that are waiting for QC. The manifests that are currently in QC by clicking this tab here, manifests that are active by clicking this tab here, and the manifests that are archived by clicking this tab here. So we've also kind of broken them up by statuses, so you can quickly go to a specific manifest and a specific status, or just get a quick view of how many are in received, how many are in QC, and so forth. Okay, so that's basically the steps involved in receiving inventory, processing it, and then selling it. Those are the major steps. Okay, the next section is inventory. So if you want to know, how much inventory do I have across all the different manifests? Let's say how many iPhone 6 do I have in stock? I've purchased them over a period of like 2 years, and I have like hundreds of manifests that through which they have come in. I want to know right now, how many do I have? Well, your inventory tab will give you that information. So you click on inventory, and here's all the inventory that you have. Of course, this is a short list for demo purposes, but this would be a long list, and it would be page across different pages, because you would be able to go to page 1, page 2, and so forth. And it basically breaks it up by brand, model, memory, and color, and tells you how many you have in stock right now across all your different manifests. So iPhone 6, 32 gigabytes, I have 55, where the condition is like new. iPhone 6 Plus, I have 104 that are 128 gigabytes, color silver, where the condition is refurb A, and so forth. The filter, you can actually narrow it or make it more generic as you want it to. So for instance, I just want to know how many iPhone 6 I have. I don't really care about memory. I don't really want to distinguish by memory or condition. Well, sure, you could do that too, and it'll tell you how many you have. that are iPhone 6. Or maybe you say, I want to know how many iPhone 6 I have that are new. I don't really care about the memory. I care about the condition, and I want to know how many I have that are new. Well, you could do that as well. And so it's a good way to get a good idea of how much inventory you have across all the different models and brands of phones and tablets. For each of them, you'll also have the eBay item ID, that you're selling against, and any accessories that they ship with. So it's a good way. Like if you have 55 iPhone 6 32 gigabytes, then you and they all ship with a charger, then you better make sure you have 55 chargers, right, at least, to go with. Just an example. You can print a label from here as well. You can click edit and make any changes that you wanted to. So for instance, if you sell something that's not on eBay just through the phone, then you would basically click the edit button and adjust the quantity for this item. You can also scan an item's IMEI number and then click the search button to just get that item back, because ideally this would be a long list. And so if you're looking for one specific item, that let's say you have a phone on your hand and you want to search it in your inventory, you can just scan it and it'll pull that up. Or you can search by title. So if you're only looking for iPhones, you just type in iPhones and it will only search for iPhones. So that's your inventory page. Lets you basically search your inventory. The next is reports, and the reports is not part of this demo. So if you click on reports, it'll basically say coming soon. But basically, the reports page will give you a sales summary of all your different sales. I haven't made it part of the demo because it's just, I didn't feel it was crucial. Because I wanted to, the idea of this demo was to just basically give the overview of the major steps that are involved in tracking inventory. And so that's why I've only done manifests and inventory, so that you have a good idea of the overall look and feel of the website, how it functions, and so forth. And most importantly, at this point, I really want your feedback on what you think of this and whether you think that this suffices, if this gives you what you need, if you think this is user-friendly, easy enough to use, or if we need to make changes. I would love to hear them. I would love to hear how to make this software better for you, what changes you would require, if any, and we're just looking for your feedback and your suggestions on this. Okay, well, that concludes the demo. Once again, get in touch with me. Let me know what changes we need to make here, and let me know if this is what you're looking for, and we can go from there. Thank you so much.